Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Saturday Show Live edition. My name is Tracy, and I'm so glad that you're here with me today. Before I get started, as usual, I invite you to please subscribe to this channel. I think we're down to 132 again. So I'm still trying to hit that 1,000, but the goal is December, and it's not looking like it may happen, but I'm going to get as close to 1,000 as I can before the year is out. So hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to see the exact number I have. Um, Also, remember to like this video, share this video, and comment. I really look forward to your comments when I get them because I don't get them often. So while I'm looking down here to see the exact amount of subscribers I have, let's see. I'll be with you guys just a moment. It's been like a loungy day. I'm like, ugh. Um, okay, let's see. We're going to see. Yep, I'm up to 136. So that's better than 132, but still, go ahead and subscribe if you can. No, it doesn't cost anything. Just subscribe. Subscribe. Um, just subscribe. Um, and of course, again, subscribe. Um, it's free to do. Also support me on buymeacoffee.com/the Tracy Show. I'm sorry, the Tracy Show. Buymeacoffee.com/Tracy Media LLC. You can follow us on Facebook. And I'm still calling this Twitter, but if you want to follow us on now X, but that was hard for me to put that X because I still want to call it Twitter. You can follow us on Twitter. And someday I'm going to get on Instagram, I promise. But until then, just like us on Instagram, there's the address. Hey, Parker, how are you doing? I'm glad you tuned in because I got a question for you. And I'm going to talk about that today. So I'm going to tell you all what I'm talking about because I actually wrote this down. So I'm going to talk about the passing of Dianne Feinstein, the impeachment hearings against Joe Biden that I didn't even know were going on. Why is Cenk Uygur thinking he can run for president and he wasn't born in the United States? Of course, Parker already brought up the RFK news. And I'm going to talk about Biden, the greatest union supporting president ever. And if you know my views on Biden, you know I mean that with all the sarcasm that I can muster up. So, with that being said, and I might stop a minute or two to go get some water because I am extremely thirsty. I don't know what happened. I must have ate something with a lot of salt because I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm thirsty. My blood sugar is kind of normal, so that's not the problem. But I wanted to talk about the passing of Senator Dianne Feinstein of California. Um, she was 90, I believe. And that's a long time to live. That's a really long time to live. And I kind of have mixed feelings because she definitely was not a friend of the left. But some of the postings I've seen about her passing are just downright despicable. I'm like, she's abiding in hell now, and I'm like, I guess I'm still on that thing that I was on last week, where I'm questioning: do we have any type of respect for our elders? And I know somebody's gonna say, well, she didn't respect my rights, and she was a corporate Democrat. I mean, we're gonna do this to every corporatist that passes away. Um, what I think that they did to her was just pure elder abuse. Um, and it was clear that she was not at her top mental capacity, and she would, you know, mix up Tim Scott and Raphael Warnock and those type of things. But the way that the Democrats used her is just deplorable. I mean, they just would not ask her, hey, it's time for you to sit down. It's time for you, be well, be with your family. Um, and to me, it just constitutes elder abuse. I mean, they really seriously did this to this lady. They wheeled her out. She wasn't, you could just look at her until she wasn't all the way there. And that's a horrible thing for me to say. But if you just look at her in meetings and giving interviews, there was a disconnect. And I think, for a party to use that, when people in her own party were saying, it's time to step down, and they say, oh, you're misogynistic. No, that person could clearly see what was going on. I mean, there's people that say that about Mitch McConnell, and you're not hearing it. You're not hearing it about, I'm trying to think of the other. Any of them, most of them are over 70 anyway. Can we say that? They're over 70. Chuck Grassley, senator of Iowa, is 90, and he just got reelected. Yes, and that's the other thing I was saying in my video last week, that this is the electorate's responsibility. Um, they're electing these people. And again, I don't believe in age limits. I just don't. I don't like it. I don't think it's a good idea. I think, again, we tend to throw away the elderly and tell them they're no use. And I don't, I'm never going to say that, because I don't believe it. Use at any age. Um, it I don't want to keep saying over and over again, but this was clearly elderly abuse. They would put her, she had several falls, which for a person her age, if you fall, that could be fatal. I mean, it could have literally, caused her to pass, um, by falling. And it's just, I don't know what to make of it. I know what to make of it. It's to use a person that age for some sick, twisted power play is just, it's just despicable, especially in her type of condition. It's not like she's a spry 90-year-old and she was like, quick with her wits. No, this was a woman that clearly had some cognitive issues. And not to come to her family and say, hey, family, you have power of attorney over her. You need to give up that seat. It's California. A Republican is not going to win state senator in California. Okay, it's not going to happen. I know you all want Adam Schiff to have the seat, but now you're going to have to do, what you didn't want to do, which was replace her seat. And unfortunately, that's what happens. Let's just see, can Gavin Newsom keep his promise to put in a black woman? Of course, he's not going to put in Barbara Lee. Everybody, please stop. He's not going to put in Barbara Lee. She's too to the left. She's not as left as I would like her, because I think the whole Democratic Party is garbage. But that's a whole different thing. We got some comments over here. Oh, yeah, remember that story earlier this year about her congratulating Tim Scott on his victory in the Senate runoff election, but it was supposed to be Warnock. Yes. And that's when her family should have stepped in and said, you know what, she can't do this. She has having cognitive delays. I don't know whether she had Alzheimer's or dementia or Parkinson's. I don't know. I'm not her doctor. But you didn't have to be a doctor to notice she's got delays coming. Um, Strom Thurmond retired when he was 100 and he was in the Senate. That was in 2003. He died a few months later. He was 100. Now, I know I just said, you know what? I don't like throwing away people, and I don't. 100. He had three numbers in his age. He had three numbers in his age. Oh my gosh. McConnell seems young compared to some of them. He's 80. He's just 81. I'm not lying. I thought he was like 89. I literally thought he was like 89. Imagine if he nominated Maxine Waters for the. Oh no! Don't do that! Don't do that, Newsom. Please don't do that. Don't do that. Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't. Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. If he not. Oh my goodness. Oh boy. No. No, Parker. See, I was feeling pretty good. I had taken myself a little nap. Said, "Hey, we're gonna get up. We're gonna do this Tracy show live, and you do this to me." Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Oh. But he's got to appoint somebody to her seat, and it's got to be immediate because you got all those. I'm trying to see who else he could like possibly. Um, he could do no, but she just got to be elected mayor of California, mayor of Los Angeles, so he can't do Karen Bass. Oh my goodness! Wait a minute. Wait a minute. It's got to be somebody else black politicians. Cause no, I refuse to accept Democrat. No, I will not accept California. It's got to be somebody else's name that can go on besides hers. Um, I don't know. I'm coming up with a name here. Just give me time. Um, I'm just trying to come up with a name, and Maxine Waters is the only one I see so far. Oh gosh. Oh goodness. I can't. Oh my goodness. Oh, so here's how he's getting around the out of the because I knew he'd find a way. Um, Gavin Newsom says that he will not appoint a person that is currently running for the seat. So that leaves out, and I just called her name, Barbara Lee. That leaves her out. Maxine Ward. We got to find somebody else, not Maxine Ward. Anybody but Maxine Ward. Uh, Look, just get a Oh no, not Maxine. Not Maxine. Yeah, she. Oh gosh. When your only value to the party is to come in and vote, it's time. I agree. And hey, Marlon, thoughts and prayers to you and your family. But that's all they would literally do is just wheel her out there and vote. And I'm gonna say it again, it was elder abuse. It was really elder abuse. How she was strolled out there, literally, like they would point to things like press that button and press that button. It You can't do that to people. You should not be allowed to do that to people. Like I said, if you get a power of attorney, I don't care how old you are, if you have a power of attorney and you're to that point, it's automatic. You got to step down. I looked up the names that you mentioned. And there are a bunch of people that don't have much name recognition. I know, but Maxine Waters, we can't do Maxine. We cannot. We cannot do Maxine Waters. I don't know who else. I don't live in California. I live in Indiana, and we can't. We cannot. We have to do. It's got to be somebody. Oh, and not Oprah either. I've heard that name. I heard her name being floated to. No, 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 no. I'm trying to look up my. Okay, so, um, I still can't believe you said Maxine Waters. I'm sitting here doing my job, trying to bring some levity, trying to make everybody's day a little brighter. You just made my stomach hurt. Like literally hurt. Maxine Waters. Ugh. And she's 85. She in the same. I'm gonna shut up. See, I'm gonna shut up. He should nominate Bobby Seale. He's the founder of the Black Panther Party. He's 86. I don't know if he's still alive. So Parker, no, he said he was going to nominate. He was going to replace Feinstein's seat with someone who was black and someone who's female. He did say black female. So, and Black Panther Party, that's not going to work. But no. But yeah, they want Adam Schiff to have that seat, even though Katie Porter is running. Who I kind of have some questions about. I'm like, is she really progressive? Because she seems to be progressive adjacent. Her and Barbara Lee, I really have questions about because they don't seem to be like really progressive. They just kind of go along to get along. But again, I'm not in the state of California. I don't live in the state of California. Don't want to visit the state of California. So, I don't know that, but I do know they want Adam. Please throw me a personality shift to have that position. Why? Somebody, anybody. Can somebody give that guy a smile, a laugh, or something? I mean, if you want to talk about puts people to sleep, oh my gosh. Adam Schiff. Oh, goodness. I'm just like, dude, where is your personality? You don't have any? Like, go buy some. Oh my gosh. I cannot. Ugh. Ugh. Um, so let me take a breather because Parker, you really got me upset. Unfortunately, the polls show it's a race between Katie Porter and Adam Schiff. Barbara Lee is only polling at like 7 to 10%. True. Oh yeah, I did read that. I think is he leading or is she leading? I thought that Katie Porter was beating Adam Schiff in the polls, but they're gonna talk her into dropping out. She's not gonna stay in the seat. I mean, that's um, Democrats are notorious for fixing local elections. I mean, um, but yeah, they want him to have that seat. So I want to talk about, well, first, okay, everybody, give me a second here because I got to get some water. My throat is just about scratchy, scratchy, scratchy. So I'm going to just give me a second here. Okay, I had to get some water. I'm sorry, my throat is just itchy, itchy, itchy. And if anybody else has any comments, just put them in the comment section. So the next thing I want to talk about is what Parker brought up. RFK, Robert F. Kennedy, are all their middle names Francis? Because it's like JFK, then there was RFK, and then there was the other one. But anyway, Oh, wow, that feels good. RFK has decided that he's no longer, he has hinted, he hasn't actually officially announced, to my knowledge, that he's not going to seek the Democratic nomination for president anymore. Why did you try in the first place? Why are you, Marianne, and supposedly Cenk Uygur, which I'm going to get to? Oh, I got a whole rant about that one. Why are you seeking the nomination for the DNC nomination? You know what they do when they say this is the nominee. They're saying to you, Joe Biden is the nominee. They don't care about the primaries. They don't care how people vote. They don't care what the people say. They pick their leaders, they pick the nominees, and bump you. Why did you try in the first place? Why? Why were you out here campaigning, taking people's money, campaigning to get to a party that does not want you? They don't want you. They don't want Marianne Williamson. They don't want Nina Turner. They don't want Cenk Uygur. They don't want Bernie Sanders. They don't want Cornel West. They don't want you. They want Joe Biden. I don't know why, since he's getting beat 10 points in the polls by Trump. But hey, that's them. That's who they want. That's who their nominee is. Why try? Now, as much as a non JFK supporter that I'm definitely not. There were a couple things that I knew if he does it, why it happened. Number one, they didn't give him security. And if you've been reading, there was a situation when he visited, I believe, California, where, well, backtrack, he's had to hire his own security because for some reason, Biden gives permission for other campaigns to have security because there's some people out here that they don't know how to act. So, as president, one of the things he does, which or she does eventually, is to say, "Hey, Secret Service, 5 y'all, 10 y'all, whatever, you detail security for this person because they're running for office." And apparently, like all the Republican candidates have security, but Mary Ann doesn't, and RFK doesn't. That's super petty. Why not give them security? Like, if you look at their polling numbers, Mary Ann is polling at what, 7 to 10%? Her numbers are higher than Tim Scott. Her numbers are higher than Nikki Haley's, but you're giving them security, but not her. RFK was at his highest was like 20%, and he has to get his own security. That I mean, I'm like I said, I'm not even an RFK supporter, but that is dirty. That is extremely, extremely dirty. That is just, it's just wrong. You cannot. There should just be like a, and I know people are gonna say, well, there's lesser known candidates. But to me, when you're running for president, I don't care if you're green, I don't care if you're um, um, libertarian, PSL, constitutional party. I don't care. You should just automatically get security, and that type of request shouldn't even go through the office of president. We know as president, Joe Biden has to have security. Nobody's here to argue that. Nobody's here to say that. But you could direct some parts of this. What are the Secret Service? Oh my goodness, forgot that minute. You could direct some of the members of the Secret Service to provide some detailed security for your opponents. Just because they're your opponents doesn't mean you have to get all petty and just not offer security. So if you're not aware, what happened was RFK was in, I want to say Los Angeles so bad, but I don't think that was a city. And someone infiltrated or tried to infiltrate his campaign. Like it was a public event and he was like greeting the crowd and someone was able to almost get through. And this man had like several weapons with him. And I'm not here to say, I mean, just because his last name is Kennedy, and I don't mean that as a joke, I mean that seriously. You know that the name Kennedy is going to bring that type of person to try to infiltrate. And for you to just ignore it, oh gosh, that's terrible. Like, what are you saying you want to happen to them? Like, if it's me and I'm president, I'm like, give all 100 candidates, all 100. I don't care if they're running the campaign and have their living room is them, their husband or wife, whatever, and their dog. Give them security because there are some people out here that don't know how to act. I think that's one of the things that could have led um, him to be leaving. Here's the thing, though, and Parker, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Is he running with the Libertarian Party? Because if he runs for the Libertarian Party, that's going to be interesting. And you all know I do have libertarians sometimes come on my other show, the Tracy Show, and I interview them. Matter of fact, I don't think I've ever had a libertarian turn down one of my requests. And I always tell them I'm a leftist. I believe in expanding the size of government to meet the needs of the people. There's nothing, I mean, there's very few things that I agree with libertarians on. Getting rid of private prisons, that I agree with. I agree with them on ballot access. I agree with them on that. But pretty much that's about it. But if they get RFK as their nominee, I'm definitely going to be watching the debates. I keep trying to find out the exact date of their debate, and I've actually finally got in contact with someone who's running for president for their party. Oh, what's his name? Y'all, give me a second here, because I just talked to him. Let's see. I'm gonna Let's see. What is his name? Oh, I just had it, y'all. Chase Oliver. That's his name. Ooh. So I'm in contact um with someone with the Libertarian Party to try to find out when their debate is and can I get a pass to go. Not go in person because I can't be around that because I will go straight up off. Um, mm-mm. The article I just read said he was planning to announce his independent run for president on October 9th. I don't think he said which particular party with. Okay, yeah, don't run with the. It's got to be the Libertarians because he's polling so well. He's already had meetings with their party. But yeah, just be independent. Don't run with the Libertarian. Don't do it. Don't do it. But if you do it, I'm gonna definitely broadcast the debate. I'm definitely going to broadcast the debate. No doubt about it. I mean, we watched. Some of us watched the debate this past Wednesday, and literally that's the first time I've ever turned off of the debate because it was so boring. I couldn't believe it. All they were doing was talking over each other. That would make, if he goes libertarian, which I'm hoping he doesn't, but some parts of me hope he does. There's some parts hope he doesn't. If he goes and says, I'm running for the Libertarian nomination, I pretty much think he's got it. He's got name recognition. His views line up with their views. Um, he's been meeting with them several times during his campaign. So it would make sense that he would do it. But I'm wondering, one, was he a Democrat really? I mean, if you listen to what some of the things he said, he's against Medicare for all. Well, no, let me backtrack because the Democratic Party is against Medicare for all. He's against reparations. Um, he had a whole lot to say about the vaccine. I'll say it that way because YouTube likes to not for you to talk about that that pandemic that hit us, but he had a whole lot of conspiracy theories, and they just kept getting wilder and wilder and wilder. And I know there was some point where he tried to kind of do like what Mary Ann Williams is doing, where she's saying, hey, vote for me in the primary, and then whoever you vote for in the general is who you vote for in the general. Which I don't understand that theory. I mean, I understand as a person that's not Democrat, I do vote in primaries. But I specifically go in with this thought. I go in with um, who do I think that my preferred candidate can be, and that's who I vote for. That's exactly how I do it. I haven't uh, gone away from that. Um, that's gonna him not running for the Democratic nomination, and I'm putting this question out to everybody else because I'm thinking about it. Would that take away votes from Biden? And I'm gonna say no. Even though RFK was polling in the 20%, he's not now. I don't know him running third party changes anything because that's gonna leave the race just to Marianne and Biden. She's not getting any press coverage. She has no apparatus for getting on the ballot in some of the primary states. So her chances of beating Biden are just, they're gone. I mean, they never existed really, but they're gone. And that's just gonna mean Biden has a cakewalk, which he already had a cakewalk to the nomination because the party came out and said, "Oh, no debate. This is our nominee, and this is the way we're going to do it." And then we're going to tell other states they can't go first. We're going to move South Carolina, a state that Biden won. Um, but that doesn't help Mary Ann at all. She's got to do a whole lot of other things, such as keeping her campaign staff, because she changes campaign staff. I mean, every other week it seems like somebody is leaving the campaign. I know Peter Dow, who's now Dr. West's campaign manager, left her campaign, and other people before that left her campaign manager. I think she's gone through like six. So I I don't know what I know what this means. It means he's running as an independent, but I don't know how much support he can get because how can I say this and it makes sense because it's not even making sense to me, so I'm saying it. If he runs as an independent, I still say it's libertarian. It's got to be. It can't, because him just running as a regular independent, it doesn't mean anything. I think he goes with some conservative party, like the Constitution Party. I think it's too right wing. They're like to the right of the Libertarian Party. They're just absolute constitutionalists, which I think means they think black people are 3/5 of a person. It takes like three black people to make a person, but whatever. So they may be too extreme for him to do it. I would say it's got to be libertarian. Like I said, he's been meeting with them. He's been on several of their like group meeting things. Um, it would make sense for him to run as libertarian. I'm kind of waiting on some other people to chime in here and just tell me, do you think I'm wrong? Do you think I'm wrong in saying I think that RFK runs within the Libertarian Party? Because I can't literally see him doing anything else. I don't, unless, okay, unless. I didn't even think about this. I just literally thought about this. What if he changes over to a Republican? What if he changes over to the Republican Party? He's polling high among Republicans. Y'all got to talk back to me now because I just literally thought about that. He could literally run as a Republican. That would actually make more sense. But I see, Parker, you were saying that the article said independent. But he made. Okay, so if he said, I'm changing over to the Republican Party because they're more open, but I'm going to take my Democratic Party values, whatever, however he would spin it, he's already polling well among Republicans. It may not happen, but because Parker, you said the article you read said definitely independent. So I'll rule out Republican. I'm still leaning in towards heavy the Libertarian Party. Um, that's where I'm leaning it. But of course, nobody's commenting right now, so that means I get to just stumble on and stumble on. I'm trying to keep this as brief as possible. So, um, my next one, my next topic, my next topic, Cenk Uygur. Now, if you don't know who Cenk Uygur is, he is head of the TYT, the supposed left wing podcast, which isn't really left wing, but they kind of live in that progressive phase. I think, well, I'm not going to call them leftists. They live in that progressive space. Well, he decided that, let me backtrack. So he decided a couple weeks ago on TYT's website to put a link and call for Biden to resign. Now, remember 4 years ago, this is the same channel that was saying you got to vote for Biden, you got to vote for Biden, we can't have Trump. But now, 4 years later, it's Biden needs to step down and give the race to someone other than Biden. We want more choices, blah, blah, blah. Somehow, Cenk did not read the requirements to be president of the United States. So, let's kind of go over them in case he's watching this podcast. Probably not. Um, the number one, let's kind of take them backwards. The third requirement is that you have to live in the United States for 14 years. Okay, I'll give him that. He's got that. He's definitely got that. Lived in the United States 14 years. That's cool. The number two is you have to be at least 35. Um, and the first comment, or for the first comment, because Parker just put up a comment, and I'll get to it. This is the second comment. Um, the first comment or the first requirement, which Jake is never gonna meet, is that you have to be a naturalized citizen. That means you have to be born in the United States, or the way Ted Cruz did it, you have to have at least a parent that was born in the United States, or the way John McCain did. He ain't got that. Why does he think he can run? I'm hoping that this announcement that Nina has isn't about helping his campaign, because girl, you wasting your time. I think I know what your announcement is. And let me go back before I continue on this Cenk rage. Now, everybody knows I'm a big fan of Tina Turns, but could you stop with these teasing announcements? When I say I have an announcement, I tell you the exact date I'm going to say it. And then I give you clues along the way of what I'm going to announce. Or if I say at the beginning, hey, I got an announcement, but it's coming at the end of the show, eventually I'm going to tell you. Don't. That's just annoying me. It's annoying me. Either tell us what it is now or stop with the commercials. I know, Parker, you're going to just jump all on me for saying that, but come on, stop it. I think her big announcement is I still don't think she runs herself for president. Although she meets all three requirements, um, I think she runs for governor of Ohio. That's what I think. But who Who knows? But the announcement teases are kind of getting on my kind of last nerves. That's just me. I know, Parker, forgive me, but I just had to say that. It just annoys me. So somehow Gene thinks that he has what it takes to be president. Okay. If you were a naturalized citizen, 35, and lived in America 14 years, sure, you'd run. Run. But you don't have it. And in terms of your last campaign, what did you get? Like 7% of the vote? Like, do you really think you can like take that 7%? You to be president, let's set this up. To be president of the United States, one, you gotta do what well, basically you gotta do what Joe Biden did. You gotta start early. You gotta tell people, hey, I'm running for this office, president of the United States. Well, wait a minute, let me backtrack that. Before you do that, you have to have an infrastructure. You have to have a campaign manager. You have to have an outreach director. You got to have like people in every single state that's working on your campaign. You can't just jump up and say, hey, I'm running for president. No, it doesn't work like that. You have to have those type of components in place, especially if you're going to do an independent run. That means you've got to have twice the volunteers to do like 3 times the work because it's a lot of work. You have to have a press director. You have to have a social media. You have to have a social media outreach plan. You can't just, oh, I'm just going to run for president because a couple years ago I ran for Congress and then I lost by 7. I only got 7% of the vote. Like, you think you can, if you run as a Democrat, which again you can't run because you're not a naturalized citizen, what do you think you're going to achieve? Yes, your friends are telling you that they want others to run. They're not telling you they want you to run. They want others, not you, others to run. Even to run for, I don't know, city council, you have to have so many things in place. And there's no campaign structure. You would have to take a break from the network that you run. You can't be in the network talking about progressive issues and then you're running for president of the United States, which again, you and Dr. Shiva got the same problem. You were not, I keep saying this, but you were not born in the United States. You were born in Istanbul, Turkey. Turkey and the United States are not the same thing. Our Constitution, which for the most part is crap, but that's what we govern ourselves by, says that you have to have those 3 things. Not 2 of the 3, not 1 of the 3, but all 3. You meet 2 of them, but you fall short in 1. Now, Nina does meet all 3 of the components. I don't think she, like I said, I don't think she's running for president. And that's because of her respect for Dr. West. I think 2 things are possible. Either she's going to run for local office and hopefully take out Shontel Brown, run for governor, or she's going to be a surrogate for Dr. West's campaign. It's got to be one or the other. And Parker, I promise I'm coming to your announcement. Yeah, I don't think she's announcing a run for office as much as I wish it were true. And yes, if she ever did run, I want Chink to be 1,000 miles away from her campaign. Yes, because he's poison. I don't know what hold they have over her, but run. He only won 7%. At least the last time when you got beat by Chantel. At least you got 33. I mean, he got 7. This guy thinks with 7%, he's going to be a legitimate candidate. I'm assuming he's going to run for under the Democratic ticket. And he's not going to be able to run. Like, why are you going on a show propping yourself up to possibly run for an office that you can never take. Don't do that. If you're saying people tell me they want somebody else, then get somebody else that meets all three requirements. You do not meet all three requirements. And even if you did, I wouldn't vote for you anyway, because okay, Tracy, some breaking news. I don't know if you've seen it, but it relates to Jamal Bowman in Congress earlier today voting on continuing. Like I knew they weren't gonna do nothing with the debt ceiling. Man, I'm gonna nah. I don't feel like talking about Congress today. Nah. Absolutely, liability, liability. I don't know what they believe. I don't know if they're just like this. They'll say, 4 years ago, vote for Joe Biden. We can't have Trump. So we vote for both Joe Biden, and now you're saying you don't want him. I'm listening to you for what reason? You complain about what Joe Biden does, but yet you don't have any third party candidates on. Not just Dr. West. You don't have on any libertarians. You don't have on anybody with PSL. It's totally this total ignoring of third party candidates is exactly what regular media does. It's like they're trying to be like CNN and MSNBC, but then pretend that they're progressive. I just can't. My whole life has gone better since I've dialed back my support. It's like, ugh. Again, why is he running? Why did he even put his name out there? Nina, if he says he'll be your campaign manager, girl, don't you do that. You'd be better off getting Parker. At least he knows you. At least he's capable. At least he's like stand worthy. No, not a thing. No, no. The thing that happened is being reported as like an hour ago. Is apparently Jamal Bowman was caught on camera, not 100% confirmed yet, but they said he pulled the fire alarm. Okay, now you're gonna have to really explain. The fire alarm was pulled in the Capitol as they were about to vote. Why would he pull the fire alarm? Okay. Why pull? I can't even. I don't have no comments. You pulled the fire alarm, which is against the law. Um, why is he anywhere near the fire alarm? Because he's supposed to be on the floor. And the floor of the fire alarm, what? Is it in the back and he just walked to the back and pulled it? Like the literal fire alarm, right? The one that you pull when there's an actual fire. Maybe there was a fire. Who knows? But wouldn't he be on the floor though? But if he's caught on camera, do need to be. I mean, pulling the fire alarm is illegal. The images going around online show what looks like him right next to it. Apparently, the strategy was to delay the vote because they thought the GOP was trying to rush the vote. He was out in the hall from the image. They can't abdicate the vote. You got to pull fire alarms. See, this is why people don't trust Congress people. Yes, let's talk the black person into pulling the fire alarm. Like, how about don't show up? Don't vote. Oh, if they don't show up, then it goes through. Like the president doesn't have any type of veto power. Like, I can't with these people today. I think there should be a job fair or elections, that's what they call them, for everybody in Congress. 535 job openings should just be posted. Because this is ridiculous. You're going to sit here and pull fire alarms? That's illegal. You don't pull the fire alarm. You would get up. What you could do is like you get up and you just walk out. That you could do. You could literally do that. Because the Republicans don't agree on the strategy for the debt ceiling anyway. So they probably don't have the votes to pass what they think is going to be the budget. You could just all get up, walk out, and say, these are the terms. But you're going to pull a fire alarm? Dude. And Parker, send me that because I can't with this Congress. I can't. Yo, we got to do something. We got to get all 535 of these people out. Because this ain't making dang on sense. Not just Biden, all of them. This is about the dumbest thing I think I've ever heard. How you gonna stand there in a fire alarm and you supposed to be on the floor of Congress? Up there. And speaking of wasting time, and gee, what happened? The bill passed anyway. Well, whip-dee-dee, you did all that. And he gonna be in trouble for pulling the fire alarm? Pulling the fire alarm. That's it. Then sent out the fire department because you want to delay a vote. Really? I cannot. 535 positions need to be open, and we need to be taking every third-party candidates. We need to be running for all of them. And I'm saying we, but I'm not including me. But y'all know what I mean, because this message this stuff don't make sense. Thank you, Parker. I don't know what happened. Let's see. I hit a button and I disappeared from my own screen. Let me get another drink of water because these people done got my head hurting. Y'all. So let me get to my last two topics. I done got to Feinstein, Cenk Uygur trying to run for president. He wasn't born in the United States. I threw in RFK even though that wasn't on my list. Okay, so I want to talk about the impeachment hearings. I didn't even know these had started. To be honest, I didn't know. I didn't know that well, let me backtrack. So the group that's meeting now isn't the whole Congress to impeach Joe Biden. They're meeting, the way I can explain it is they're meeting to see if they can impeach Biden. I literally didn't know this had happened. And here's what I think, and I know some people are going to disagree with me. The media is trying to sell this as though, well, the accusation is that Hunter Biden, Joe Biden's son, got some position in China, Ukraine, some country. I don't know the full story, but he basically got a position in a company. And then when someone didn't know, what we going to do is we going to be accurate. Because I get totally confused on this one. So I'm going to be accurate on mine. I'm going to just be accurate. Because I'm not getting my story straight. In Peach. I know it's an inquiry. So I know it's an inquiry. Okay, so let me just read a little background. On September 12th, 2023, Kevin McCarthy, the Speaker of the United States of Representatives, announced an impeachment inquiry into President Joe Biden. The inquiry will be conducted by the House Judiciary Oversight and Ways and Means Committees. James Comer, chairman of the Oversight Committee, will lead the investigation. So right now, they're just um, they're just inquiring whether he should be um, impeached or not. So of course you got the accused, that's Joe Biden, and you got Kevin McCarthy on the other side, and then um, the committee is great. You got James Comer, Jim. I kept my mouth shut about sexual harassment charges at Ohio State, and Jason Smith of the Ways and Means Committee meeting. The allegations is where I couldn't get straight. The allegations that Joe Biden financially benefited from business dealings with his son, Hunter Biden, and allegations that Hunter Biden was given preferential treatment during a federal investigation. Those are the charges. Oh my gosh. I couldn't remember. I was like, wait a minute. And so what's happening now is appears that it's a lot of circumstantial evidence and nothing concrete. But from some of the things I've researched, and I'm just asking this, I always thought circumstantial evidence was evidence. It's just circumstantial. It's like you can't just say, yes, this is how much Joe Biden got, and this is like how much Hunter Biden got, and he gave it to his dad. And it's just it's a whole mess. And of course, Trump had something to do with it because he told them to do this. He was impeached twice. How do you be president and impeached twice? But he was impeached twice. So he's like, you know what? Yeah, now that I control these Republicans and they're gonna do whatever I say, yeah, just go ahead and do an impeachment inquiry. And I'm trying to read some more of it. Let's see. I'm really trying to see which countries were involved. But apparently, Hunter Biden, he out here in these streets, according to what the Republicans have said. There hasn't been much physical evidence produced, and I don't even know if this is going to lead to an impeachment. I think it shows that the Republican Party is still controlled by Trump. I mean, they're literally taking their orders from a guy that has not 10 charges against him, not 12 charges, 91 charges. 91. 91. 91. And you have Republican Congress people taking their orders from him for retaliation. That's what you get from Trump if he's elected again. And no, that does not scare me because he's going to do what he does and we're going to fight back. We're not going to just let him just do whatever he wants and then just go from there. But I wanted to kind of talk about that because the media has not. I mean, I haven't heard anything about it except for that one clip, and I don't want to call her little girl because she's not. She's a congressman. I know her first name is Jasmine. I think it's Crockett, where she was questioning, why are they there? You're there because Trump is petty and he's got people at his beckoning call that will do anything that he says. Unfortunately, we have to deal with this. This is why I think there should be a job opening. 535 from U.S. senators straight down. We need a job opening day. Like I know we have to have elections, but just we can do better. We can do better than the government that we have. I just sent you a picture of what people are showing online is allegedly Jamal Bowman doing this on camera. Is a grainy picture, so you can't really tell 100%, but I don't know. Sounds like There's some traits that would identify him as pulling fire alarms. Pulling fire alarms, holding hearings that don't make sense. What? How else are they going to waste our time? They're literally wasting our time when we should be addressing the climate issues that are going on in our country. They're wasting our time with this type of mess. Pulling fire alarms and having hearings that literally don't mean anything. Stop wasting my time. Stop it. Don't waste my time anymore. Finally, the last topic of today. I gotta breathe because that just I hate when people waste my time and they're wasting my time. So I'm gonna just breathe it out. I want to talk about Joe Biden visiting the UAW strikers. And to tell you, I was exactly right. I had said in my video last week um, that Joe Biden was going to visit the plant in, I want to say Detroit, but I know it's outside Detroit, and give his speech. And he did. He stayed for 15 minutes. And one of the first things I heard, which I knew I was going to hear, the vote blue no matter who crowd. Boy, y'all came out and defended Joseph. You were like he's the greatest union president ever. He spoke to them for 15 minutes. And what did I say last week? I said I wouldn't be surprised if he attended a $25,000 per plate dinner. Well, I was wrong. It's $100,000. That's right. After selling BS to the workers, he decides to attend a $100,000 a plate fundraiser. Let's just say you just go. You just go. Well, first of all, who's got $100,000 plate fundraiser, but that won't bother you? It won't, because he's not Trump. Sure, Trump is probably going to attend a fundraiser. When he was in Michigan and you were at a union hall at a place that wasn't union, and then hired actors to come in and play. I mean, if you're a presidential candidate, you need to be there, right? But what I don't think you need to be doing is attending a $100,000 per plate fundraiser. That means if you eat 2 plates, and I'm saying this per plate, but I'm pretty sure, I'm hoping it's a smorgasbord where you can just go back. But if they're counting per plate and you have 2 plates, that's $100,000. I don't think they do that. I'm pretty sure they don't. And you're just there to just kind of hot knob. But I literally called this. I literally said he'll be at a fundraiser. I got the amount totally wrong because it went 4 times above what I said, but I don't want to toot my own horn and say I was right. But I was right. I mean, he showed up. I guess that's good. I don't know if that, you know, surpasses what he did to the railroad strikers when he signed that bill blocking their protest. But hey, I'm just here with facts. I'm sure the vote blue no matter who crowd will come up with some type of defense and attack me and say, oh, you're just against the Democrats. You are correct, I am. Your point is what? Yeah, I literally called this. LOL, imagine if it was literally that much per plate. Like also your appetizer plate and dessert plate. Thank you. Like this is why it can't be per plate. It's got to be smorgasbord, right? Because if you have a dessert plate and an appetizer plate, and then you got another plate, you got a little cup for the tea or the water or the wine or whatever they got to drink, is that separate? Does that include, like, what is included? You get, like let's just say you're a regular person, like regular people don't go to $100,000 per plate dinners, but okay, let's just say that you go to this fundraiser. Are you getting like a meat or like some type of meat protein, starch, a piece of bread, a vegetable? You got to get a dessert. You got to have You gotta have, yeah, you gotta have it. Cause like, it's how big is the plate, right? Is it like a dinner plate, where you can put some food on it, or is it like a little itty bitty plate and they're just there to be there? Cause 100,000, and then what if it's not? They serve just a little bitty plate, and you gotta go back and get another plate. Is that like 100? That's like $200,000. Are they serious? It's got to be smorgasbord. It's gotta be. There's no way that they're gonna charge people that much to keep. It's gotta be. There's no way that it can't be per plate. I mean, I know it's per plate and that's how it's advertised. But if you go back for seconds, you could be spending like $300,000. Then $50,000 for a glass of wine. And then what if you're like me? I don't even drink alcohol. How much for a bottle of water? How much for like a soda? Like what are they charging? Like is it like a list and you get to choose like, hey, I want this, and the food is not. I mean, for $100,000, it's not like chicken. It's not chicken. It's way above chicken. This is in the, I don't know, brisket, Kobe steak, like that high price menu stuff, because it's not chicken wings. I can definitely tell you that it's not chicken wings. Then another $10,000 per eating utensils. Then if you accidentally drop a fork and ask for another, it's exactly. Do you get new utensils? So if you go back for another plate, do you get new utensils? Do you have to put your new food on your old plate? Like you eat that, you be like, dang, I'm still hungry. Do you go back and then they put some more on there and be like, okay, we're not gonna give you another plate. We're gonna just make you put this food on that old plate. When you do this thing, somebody who knows the inside out of political fundraising has got to answer this question for me. Because I'm like, wait a minute. If it's per plate and you get 2 plates, that's $200,000. Like I said, it's gotta be smorgasbord. It's gotta be all you can eat. There's no way you could spend and then if you go by yourself, does that include like you and another person, or is it just you? If I went and me and Parker went, or is it 200,000, or is it 100,000 for both of us? Oh my gosh, this money in politics. I mean, I can see a little fundraiser because I've helped fundraisers for political candidates. The most I've ever charged was like 50. And then I said, hey, if you don't have the 50, come anyway. I don't think I've ever said per plate. I'm like, hey, there's the chicken wings, there's the popcorn, potato chips, and something to drink and help yourself. That's pretty much what we do. Or fix a pot of spaghetti and have some bread and some salad, and that's it. We're done. But $100,000, that menu's got to be that menu has got to be out of sight. There's no way that menu is anything like we're used to. It's definitely no chicken. Definitely no chicken. Political dinners aren't about the food, it's about the Okay, hi Stanley, I know that. But what I'm saying is they're gonna eat when they're there, right? They're not just standing around and talking. They're there, okay. But again, they're gonna eat something. We're just saying if they eat more than one plate, is that $200,000? 200,000? Or are they just paying it to just get in and they're not eating? Because if I'm paying $100,000, this is just me. This is Tracy speaking. If I'm dumb enough to pay $100,000, I'm eating something. Somebody gonna feed me something. I'm not just standing around and just be like, "Oh, Joe Biden is no, 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 no. You gonna feed me something, and for $100,000, it better not be no chicken wings." Oh, I forgot. I said that they was gonna Colorado is dead. Yeah, I figured. I was like, they're gonna USC is just too good. I know, Stanley, it's not about the food. I get it, but I'm just saying, $100,000, you gonna feed me. I didn't get to be this size by me just standing around. That's just me. But I know it's about the window dressing in it. Although I don't even think, because I've been to political fundraisers when I was in the Democrat Party. Oh boy, those were the days. I don't think I've ever been to one. Like the highest one was maybe 500, and all they did, if I can remember, is they just drank a lot of alcohol and talked about nothing. I'm like, what is we here for? I think that's when the thoughts start going in my mind. Ooh, this is stupid. Because when I do a political fundraiser now for third party camp, we're going to turn it up. We are turning it up, turning it up. We're gonna play some music. We're gonna play some games. We're gonna have a good time. Um, I get it. I know it's not about the food, but $100,000 is just $100,000. And who gets this money? Does the party get the money? Is it like who sits here and thinks, you know what? How much should we charge for this? $20,000 plate? Nah, that's not enough. No, 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 no. Maybe 50. No. Yeah, we need to charge $100,000. Are you serious? I know, but like I said, the last political fundraiser that I went to, one somebody paid for me to go. Cause do I look like I got $500 just sitting around? No, I do not. I didn't then, and I don't now. And all I can remember was people were just kind of like exchanging business cards and talking about like literally nothing. And I'm like, this can't be real. Somebody paid me. I wouldn't have paid the $500 for me to go. I mean, I went because I felt like, well, they paid for me to go. I got to go. But when I do one now, it's like, no, we're going to have a turn up. We're going to get out in here in these streets and party and protest and eat, and eat. Do some more eating. And if we got something left over, it's going to go to the local food shelter. It's not going to just go to waste. I know it's not about the food. But I'm just saying, $100,000? Who sat there and thought $100,000? That's what we should charge. That's what we should charge. Who? Who thought that? Who sat there and said, "Yup, that's a good amount right there"? You know I didn't because everything was catered. Like everything was catered. I remember like somebody was asking for drinks, and of course they hired a professional bartender. I was like, dude, I just want some water. And he was like, is that Perrier water? I'm like, no, water that comes out like the sink water. Tap water. Tap water. All I want is tap water with some ice. That's it. That's it. That's all I want. Tap water. Don't give me anything else. I don't drink alcohol, so that's not gonna work for me. Just some nice tap water with some ice. That's it. I'm cool. Maybe I'll have a soda later. What do you want, Pepsi? I'm like, okay, this too many dang on choices. This is too many choices. And I'm not going to talk about well, I'll talk about my fundraiser as it comes closer to that date. But I just was like, okay, so he flew to Michigan to support the union workers. Stayed 15 minutes, but he did come. But he stayed 15 minutes. But Cornel West was actually on the protest lines all day. But hey, I'm just here making points. And then you went to $100,000 per plate fundraiser. I don't know how those fundraisers line up. I don't know how those fundraisers line up with the federal campaign finance laws. Me neither. But there are always loopholes to let people find ways to contribute to. Thank you. Like we have laws, but somehow they just get right around them. Which is why I can't understand how that one dude, the one senator who should really resign, dude is up there having gold bars. What pawn shop was he going to? Like what? Like what you gonna do with gold bars? You gonna spend? And then he put money in his jacket with his name on. Dude, you just wanted to get caught. You, sir, are an amateur. You are an amateur. Yeah, Bob Menendez and his wife. Y'all just amateurs. You got people out here holding $100,000 fundraisers, not getting to jail, and you, dummy, you're gonna sit here and have some gold bars, like you're gonna go to the pawn shop and just like cash them in because you can't go to the store and spend them. You can't. I mean, dude, you're an amateur. You are an amateur. That was not on my list of topics to talk about. But now I'm in fundraising. There's too many loopholes in the federal fundraising laws because there's no way you should be getting away with this. I thought the maximum to contribute was like $2,500. And that was the limit. You got a $2,500 limit that you can have, and that's pretty much it. That's all you have, right? But apparently you could just contribute $100,000 and just be on your merry little way. But if you buy gold bars, you're going to jail. Something wrong with that, y'all. I'm gonna get us look. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for joining me. I try to do these Saturday shows once a month where I go live, but normally I'm in my Zoom room and I just do a pre-recorded show, which is what I'll do next week. I want to thank everybody who came on here today. I want to thank my not Patreons. Oh my goodness. I want to thank my supporters on buymeacoffee.com/TRACYMedia LLC. You are really making a big difference. If you want to mention, be a part of that, definitely visit the website. Please don't start me on Citizens United because we could go a whole nother hour, and I'm just not going to go down that road right now because we're going to wrap this up because I got errands to run. And Citizens United, I'm not about that skeleton Supreme Court, whatever they call themselves. But I want to thank everybody for watching this. I will have an interview Thursday. I'm just waiting for confirmation. You'll see that on my page, The Tracy Show, Thursday at 7 p.m. And I am still working on finding out the exact date of the Libertarian Party debate because I think it's going to be a hoot. And I personally want to be there. And when I find out when the Green Party debate is, I will be linking into that and covering that also because I know there will be a Green Party debate. We're just waiting for the final date to be determined. So again, thank you all so much for watching. Remember to like this page, comment in the comment section even after this broadcast goes off. Thank you so much and have a fantastic day.